Yeah. So I forgot how I had it all in my head ready to go before we got started. But so I'll just go with the pool thing that you were just saying, Anna. And it transitions into so many things, like you said, like with business and things like that. And the sad thing is people don't look at the levels in all the ways that the instructions come in together.
Yeah.
Um, you say that uh, I can have a business like I as an individual I can start a business just like anybody else can start a business. When you go to the Secretary of State and you file for your paperwork to start your business, Secretary of State don't ask you what your race is. Secretary of State don't care. You want to start a business, you start a business. And people will say, there you go, right? Everybody's equal. No, 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 no. There's a difference in how that person can come to the table. So if you are able to tap into a network or a system that favors you, right? You are the second or third generation. Doesn't mean you're wealthy. This means second or third generation of unobstructed progress, relatively unobstructed progress. That means somewhere in your family is a doctor, somewhere in your family is an engineer, somewhere in your family is a high level professional, somewhere in your family, right? And then those people move with people like themselves. So now they have groups and social networks that they tap into. And then if you go, one of the big reasons you go to college, what I tell my children, because I had to be told this by some of my white associates, you don't go to college just to get a degree and get education. If you're doing that, you missing the boat. You go to college to create relationships and networks because that's who's going to help you get a job, right? That's why you join or you join fraternities, and that's why you join civic groups, and that's why you do student government and all that. It's not just to have fun. These are the people who have networks out there that you plug right back into, right?
Mm.
And then if you have family networks, you can plug into those too. So now we both went to the Secretary of State and filed for a business, and we put $500 down each to do that. The difference, though, is I don't have a network. I don't have all these different things to tap into. I actually had to scrounge that 500 out of my paycheck. So once I put that in there, that's it, right? You know, then I I'm putting $30, $40 a check in my business. But you are able to say, hey, Dad, this is my business
Yeah.
plan. Here's
Whereas
my
I got the
idea,
money
and
from
this
my
is what I
grandfather.
want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
And now dad or grandpa can stroke you a check for $10,000. Or they can refinance. This one really hits for college. This is a huge distinction between like a lot of black and Latino families and white families, right? When we come out of college, the black and Latinos come out heavily in debt. The white people do not, mainly because the debt's carried by their parents. You can refinance your home and put $30,000, $40,000 out, and your kid just went to school. You grew up in an apartment and
That
ain't
makes
nobody in
sense.
your family own shit. You ain't going to college off of no refinance. You ain't got it. Right? So you got student loans. Right? Same thing here. You don't have someone who can refinance their vacation home to help finance your business endeavor. Right? So it's once you really get into it is when you start to see how things are not as simple as people try to sell them to you. And like you were saying about the permits, and you were saying like, well, everybody doesn't understand permits. It's even worse than that.
Mm.
You can understand all the permits you want. If they don't want you to have it, they'll just change the rules. What you gonna do?
And as LL said, you can get the business license, but will any bank loan you money?
Because now you got to be a guarantor.
Yeah.
And as soon as they pull up your address, nah, we know who lives in that neighborhood.
Let me have the
It's
last
funny
word
one.
so we can go ahead and go into the second hour. And I'll piggyback off of Anna's analogy of the in-ground pool. It's kind of hard for you to look to one side and see a in-ground Olympic size heated, chemically clean pool, and then say, okay, now we're separate but equal, so go ahead and build your pool when you don't have the same land.